Contractors versus Adjusters, go!
And welcome back to the Contractors versus Adjusters podcast, where we talk to the restoration industry about how to sell their services to insurance adjusters. Now, we know that one of the biggest times of year is hurricane season for restoration contractors. So, Peter, can you tell us a little bit about what a restoration contractor should be doing when hurricane season comes?
Okay, and actually it applies to tornadoes as well. Any part of the country where catastrophic events happen, and you want to put yourself in line for getting that type of work and actually working with adjusters, not like this, but in a helpful way. I know of contractors that send out emails or mass communications. They even buy advertising, of their availability in the event of storms like that. Again, it starts before the storm happens. You should be building relationships with adjusters by attending their conferences and meeting them in places where they are before a loss occurs. But so when such an event is about to happen, adjusters need contractors because they need corroboration. When they go out to write an estimate, they want to know that someone is able to do that repair for that amount. And if you're able to hook up with an adjuster and actually ride along with an adjuster to go look at damaged houses, it's a very favorable thing. And there's nothing untowards or unethical about that, because after all, the adjuster is trying to write a sheet or a repair sheet that can be done by somebody. What's the point of just going and writing a very conservative repair sheet that nobody would agree to? What condition do you leave the property owner in such a matter? So they have to know that they can get the work done according to what you've written. So an adjuster needs corroboration with contractors. And so to put yourself in line for that kind of thing, you've got to let them know that you're available, especially when an event happens like this. Always better as an adjuster, it's always better to deal with a contractor as opposed to a total stranger, because I promise you, when an adjuster encounters a total stranger for a contractor on a job site, he doesn't trust you. He thinks you're out, to gain and get riches from the insurance perils and to take advantage of the homeowners. They're very pessimistic, suspicious, cynical types. So you're way better off if an adjuster recognizes your brand or you or your company. And hopefully he knew that before the event happened.
I'm reminded of this phrase I heard recently about farming versus hunting, that if you wait until the catastrophic event and then you're going out and that's hunting, and, that's limited. But if you farm, if you build these relationships, if you cultivate them over time, then you get multiplied rewards.
That's perfect. That's really perfect. And, there are issues where there's no coverage for a particular thing, or let's say the job is a $50,000 repair job and $10,000 of it is not covered for a particular reason. It's always better to be on the inside as far as the chain of communication and the line of information to know what's not covered on a job that you're going to undertake. And so in order for that to happen, you've got to have some kind of an understanding with the adjuster, a relationship. I just can't state it enough that having that relationship before the event happens is so much to your advantage. You got to do it.
Yeah. Now, you were talking about like ride-alongs and in corroboration reports. Is that something like, would I be volunteering to help out with that, or is that a service that people charge for?
No. If you're a contractor and let's say you're friendly enough with an adjuster that you can go look at losses together, you're not charging for that. You're hoping to get the job. And so basically, when you go along in that job and an adjuster uses you for corroboration on what needs to be done, and that doesn't happen often. It takes a special relationship, but it is high value. So when that happens, you're giving them some corroboration, you're agreeing on what needs to be done, and then you're also establishing credibility with the property owner because they know you're there and that you reviewed it with your adjuster, and that you guys, hopefully, you and the adjuster will work out any controversies that come up. And this is wrought with controversy, okay? So a lot of times a property owner is deficient in maintaining a property, and there is a difference between a sudden and unexpected event that causes damage versus a long-term maintenance issue that you didn't do because that you should have done over the years, That's going to be a problem.
Well, I think this has been a really helpful set of information and a good episode of Contractors versus Adjusters. So everybody be sure to like, subscribe, listen wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you next time on Contractors versus Adjusters.
Don't do this. Do this.